So Dead Boy Detectives was introduced in Seasons of Mist, which is sort
Gotcha.
of like the after Dream Country, Seasons of Mist is sort of the next volume. So
Hmm.
presumably, we know that Netflix season two, there's a Netflix season two of Sandman. Presumably, it's going to get into Seasons of Mist territory.
Hmm.
The Dead Boy Detectives were introduced within sort of seasons of Mist,
Gotcha.
and they kind of were like these, and then from there the characters were introduced from there. Then they went into a miniseries called Children's Crusade, where they decided to like become detectives, and they kind of had their own like cult following.
Hmm.
There was a book. They had a spin-off miniseries written by Ed Brubaker for
Hmm.
4 issues.
Love that, Brubaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then after that, I think there was a graphic novel written and drawn by Jill Thompson. And after that, there's a 12-issue series
Mhm.
written by Toby Litt and art by Mark Buckingham. And so it had like this cult following, and the following was big enough that it's actually going to be on HBO Max next year. They're in the process of shooting the Dead Boy Detectives TV show.
Wow.
And so yeah, so it's a smaller book that just had this really cool following, and they're my favorite characters.
Gotcha.
They're my favorite sort of Neil Gaiman characters. And yeah, and so the opportunity to do something in the Sandman Universe came up, and so I was instantly drawn to them, and it's sort of set up in a way that you don't really need to know
Mhm.
anything about their past or anything. Like, we'll catch you up on all that stuff, but the concept of Dead Boy Detectives is just really simple. There are two ghosts. One died in 1919, one died in 1990, but they're boys. They can't grow up, and they're solving crimes, and they just loved it. They love being detectives, and they're solving crimes. And
Simple
so
is simple.
simple. It's simple, simple, simple. And so one of the things that we're doing in our book is that we're taking that sort of fantasy and shifting it a little bit more into the horror realm. So the way I kind of describe it, it's like, imagine if the Sandman universe did their own kind of take of Stranger Things. So it's
Mm.
like, like kids, of that preteen teen age, in sort of this world of horror. And so what we have is the Dead Boy Detectives, who are ghosts themselves. They are going to collide and meet sort of Thai ghosts.
Mhm.
And for people who don't know, Thai has this folklore, this enormous folklore, with 100 different types of ghosts. And in the Western world, there's one type of ghost, and we kind of all can argue about what a ghost can do, but there's basically one type of ghost. In Thailand, there's like hundreds of types of ghosts. There's ghosts that sort of appear as snakes, that ghosts that are that in the day appear as a regular woman, but then at night their head like rips off their body, and then they sort
Ooh.
of and their entrails are dangling, and they're chasing people. So there's all these different types of ghosts is sort of in sort of Thai folklore. And so the story is kind of about sort of Western ghosts meets Thai ghosts,
Mhm.
and we kind of play it as a YA coming of age horror story. And it's been, oh my God, so much fun. So much
That
fun. And then
sounds.
working in like Neil's universe too
Yeah, of
has just
course.
been fantastic.
That's awesome. No, that sounds great, especially how you're trying to integrate your own culture into this
Yeah.
universe. You want to make your own stamp on this type of
Yeah,
story, you know?
and it's less about sort of like my stamp, and it's just more like, and that's the other thing I like about the book. Like, there's nothing in Western pop culture that's really delved into Thai
Yeah.
culture or Thai folklore or anything like that. So this is kind of the first chance to really do that. Like, one of the things, that's all the props I give to my editor Andrea Shea at Black Label at DC. We have a series of cover done by Alex Ekman Lawn, and every
Mhm.
cover features his take, and he's a Western artist, he's an American artist, but it's his take on a Thai ghost. So
Wow.
it's a very new perspective on this thing that's been in Thailand for, like, these stories that have been in Thailand forever. And so I just love every new one that comes in. I just think it's such a cool idea. They're so horrifying.
Mhm.
I just got cover sketches for the cover for issue 4 yesterday.
Mhm.
And just this, if Google, it gives you like crop snippets of all this
Mhm.
sort of stuff. Like, just the crop snippets, I found myself like, I instantly went, Jesus Christ. And like, it was just so horrifying. Not even the full images, just the crop snippets of it. So, but yeah, but he's so good. But even that, the whole idea of just like, oh, there's gonna be a string of covers that when you put them together, it's a collection of a Western take of all these like Thai ghosts, I think is so cool. And you've never seen that before.
Gotcha. No, that sounds awesome, and yeah, I've also never seen anything like that in terms of like Thai like paranormal type of stuff. So I'm very gonna check that out because that sounds very awesome to see
Cool.
that displayed like in a comic book. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah, yeah. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to checking out this series. I will eventually. I'm reading all the Sandman stuff in order right now, so I'll get to it
I hear
eventually.
you. I hear you.
But
I hear you. No, no, I get it. I get, because that's the other thing too. Like, once you put Sandman, like what James Tynion's doing in Nightmare Country, so
yeah,
super, also super fantastic. Like, I love, and like the way James is doing that book. It's like, if you're a fan of James's stuff, you'll know like that he has very personal themes that he goes
mhm,
through in all his work.
yeah,
And the cool thing about Nightmare Country is you can watch him it's a very personal book with all of his themes. He's just using the iconography and the mythology of the Sandman universe to help tell these stories. And that's what's been so sort of inspiring, like, because the way that our book works is it kind of spins off of some of the events
Mm-hmm.
of Nightmare Country, and we use the character of Thessaly kind of acts as a bridge into our story. And it's one of those wonderful things where I get to tell this really personal story, but at the same time, it still fuels into his continuity.
Mm-hmm.
And I give Neil all the credit in the world that you could build a universe where you could have two people telling very personal stories, but still be talking into each other and moving into one another. It's been great. It's been a really
Gotcha.
wonderful experience.